I wanted to make a quick video on how my soldering has changed. I decided to use this practice board and do strictly hand soldering, no hot air, just an iron, some flux, and the components. See how that would go. And I noticed been quite a few changes. To be clear, I realized that resistors don't have polarity. They could face any direction, they would still work. It's just that I like the way they look when they all face the same direction. The biggest difference for me is that it used to be that when I would solder, I would just let the pads take as much solder as they could. They become little pillows, and it worked fine. I would always get connectivity, good connectivity with the components. But didn't really quite like the way it looked, and I realized that I can be more efficient and maybe a bit better with this, and just add a small amount of solder to each pad, enough to stick onto the components and to maybe try to get a good connection with the solder without any wastefulness. I did some BGA work recently, and I noticed there was kind of a shift in my brain. I went from feeling like every movement was crazy and uncontrolled, and every movement was a micro movement, to somehow just looking through the microscope, every movement felt like it had a lot of space and I could make a very micro movement, but it would feel to me and it would seem to me like I was making a big move with my hands. It sort of made everything a lot smoother. And I think this is something that everyone who does this type of work or has this type of hobby eventually learns to do. There's a shift in how you move your body and how your brain moves your muscles. I think the last thing I noticed is that I use a lot less flux. If I can use less flux, I'll do it. I generally felt like, flux makes everything work. And I think that's true, but I don't like to clean up a lot of flux, and the smallest amount to be used that still works, the better.